The line we're fed about the UK in this day and age is that it's steeped in white privilege and institutional racism, that every ethnic minority has to work twice as hard to get half as far. Now, I don't know about you, but after years working in retail, in the corporate world, and also my university experience, I personally began to see it was quite the opposite. In fact, in every major place I worked or studied, it seemed to me every institution was very eager to have an ethnic minority front and centre of their operations. It seems to me, at least, that having ethnic minority staff, especially ethnic minority staff in leadership roles, makes a company think that it's forward thinking, it has a global outlook, and it's playing along with DEI targets. Yet it's as if the modern culture wants us to think that some head honcho is reclining in his office in a skyscraper in London somewhere when a member of staff runs up to him and says, "Look at this guy's CV. He doubled sales in his old company without adding any new staff. He's been to a top 10 university and he's held management roles in FTSE 100 companies. Oh wait, he's black." I mean, personally, I just don't believe that happens. But we also have these nonsense lines fed to us about things like politics. Any ethnic minority involved in politics is seen as some brave warrior who's fighted for racial justice and is going to the heart of the white supremacist government system. Yet, as I pointed out in a video a few months ago, it seemed odd that every major office of the UK had an ethnic minority leader. Now, is it true that each of these leaders are just so awesome that they could overcome these incredible odds to lead their parties and even their countries? Or is it maybe true that they were shoehorned into the front to represent an anti-racist ideology that started to take over the UK? The thing is with these sort of appointments, as well as making woke people feel morally virtuous, they also have the perfect invisibility cloak, i.e. if anyone has got a problem with their election, they'll just be called an evil racist bigot. In fact, I remember when I even made the original video, some people commenting here were stating how I was bigoted for simply noticing. Yet it's just like noticing, say, that every member of the England football team became Chinese. But I'm sure the modern BBC would say even noticing that would be somehow racist. However, the problem is with each of these leaders, or at least 3 out of the 4, they've all gone already after only 3 months. Now, why is this? Well, I'm sure there'll be someone out there who thinks it's because we're all terribly racist and evil, but the reality is none of these people were actually elected bar Sadiq Khan. The reality is that they were put forward simply because of their ethnic identity. They didn't really show they had a strong connection with the people, nor show they had a competency to lead. This to me then shows us pretty unequivocally that we actively promote people from ethnic minority backgrounds rather than hold them back. And this isn't over. Famously, David Lammy was recently made Foreign Secretary. Now, was he made Foreign Secretary because of his great ability to lead, because he's a great political thinker, a great speaker and orator maybe? Let's be honest, he's none of those things. It would be charitable to call him an average politician who's clearly prone to major blunders, as well as having sixth form lefty-style politics. I think Lammy learned from the Diane Abbott School of Politics, Diane who's made comments in favour of Chairman Mao. Nobody else could get away with things like this.
Why is that? Why is it right to wear a Maoist t-shirt, but obviously wrong, as it is, to wear a Hitler t-shirt?
I suppose some people will judge that on balance, Mao did more good than harm. We can't say that about the Nazis.
What was the good bit? Remind me what the good bit was.
Serious,
Well,
But of course Lammy, like Abbott, can use the invincibility cloak. They can simply say, "You're racist," if anybody criticises them, rather than actually take on board the constructive comments. Now, the only one that's actually elected is Sadiq Khan, and Sadiq Khan is, of course, very, very unimpressive, but is voted in basically by an ethnic minority bloc as well as the London lefties. But he too shows major disdain for his role and others when you see clips like this.
I'd like to know on what he bases that assertion.
Was that the explanation or a question?
I think that's a question.
Will that use up his time?
You can answer the question, or you can not answer the question.
No, I'm not going to bother.
Oh, how rude of you. Unbelievable.
Why are you not going to bother? You're scared, you're frit. Is that the problem?
Surely a point of personal explanation is for
let me
the
be clear,
Assembly member
Deputy
to
Chair.
explain himself.
Being accused of being a frit is not unbecoming of a member.
I'm actually
But maybe
quoting you back, funnily enough. I remember you saying it to my colleague to my left. You can't keep getting away with these bully boy tactics. It's unbecoming.
Now, I'm not a fan of the Tory party, but can you imagine the kickback if a Tory politician acted in such an obnoxious manner such as this, with such disdain for his colleagues? However, as I've been talking to in recent videos, the reason why these politicians seem more like corporate mid-level managers is because that's what they fundamentally are, and that's what our country has fundamentally become, a corporate entity. I think the more we wake up to this, the better chance we have of building something earthy and true in the future. These are just my thoughts, however. Do let me know what you think down below, and do consider subscribing to the channel.